What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review. Today, doing a Project PBE VOD review, and I finally found out where the leaderboards page is. I don't know when this was put up, but I was talking to Kai today, and I was like, how can I tell who's rank 1? And he was like, oh, just go to this page. And it's actually like a really beautiful leaderboards page here. You can click through all the different tiers and see players. You can go to open and see Joe Bookmark rank 1 in the open tier. Gonna promote up to tier 4. You can see myself if you scroll a teeny bit here and see me rank, what am I, 19? No, wait, I have more BLP than this. It just needs to get through one of my games. I'll be like a little bit higher than this. But hey, I'm working my way up on the promotion. And the person who has been working his way up the ladder this entire Project PBE is rank 2 Gobosteur. I would love to VOD review rank 1 Liquid Art, also known as Kai Wang. But this guy doesn't stream. So Kai Wang, if you're watching this, turn on the stream right now. Turn on the stream right now. I need to steal your tech. We are going to do the next best thing and steal rank 2's tech, 1002 LP. And this is actually a tech that Gobo and Liquid Art, Kai Wang, a lot of players in the Cooking Brownies study group worked on together. This is a tech that got leaked. I say leaked. It got revealed, I guess, earlier by Demacian Raptor. Brosif was playing it on stream. A lot of people have been talking about it, and it makes a lot of sense when you get down to the kind of the brass tacks of it. And so I'm excited to get into this VOD and yap about it. So start off with an Alistar pair here. This would lean towards like Unar reroll, I would say. You could definitely play this into a Unar game and be very happy about it. And honestly, the more I think that this patch has developed on PBE, people have, I think, come to the conclusion that this is just like a reroll meta. You know, there's this Unar comp. There's, I mean, you have this Kale stuff, Solar. There's a lot of like 1-cost reroll as well. There's a decent amount of 3-cost reroll. And then there's the comp that we are going to talk about today. And the first thing that Gobo is going to do is something that he does in a lot of his games is, even though he has the Alistar pair, even though he has some stuff, he says, I have Camille here. I know Camille can solo 1-4, so I'm just going to solo frontline her on 1-4. Or yeah, just going to solo field her on 1-4 to guarantee that I can make 10 gold. This is usually done in these type of like very centralizing reroll metas or metas that need very specific items because you don't feel bad about loss streaking. And that's exactly the thought process here, is we don't feel bad loss streaking because we want to look for specific items, which we will talk about when we get there. But yeah, these first few augments, kind of mediocre. We see Double Trouble, and I mean, we do see Double Trouble, but I was actually thinking of Trade Sector here. And we are going to pick this up. I mean, Double Trouble is a fun augment, but probably not the best pick here. We could play it into this Cassio comp that we've talked about, but yeah. We are immediately going to team planner out Warwick from this spot, and you might ask yourself, why? Why are we immediately hard committing Warwick here? Especially because, hey, we rotate into somebody who's fielding a Warwick. Maybe they're going to play it. Well, our items are legit BIS in this spot here. We have full Titans, which we just slammed there, and then we have tier open, which might seem a little weird. You might be wondering, okay, like what Warwick item would we build out of tier here? Like Hodge Warwick or something? No, it's actually going to be Shojin Warwick this game as his next item. And the idea is, if you read this Warwick guy's ability, what does he do? There's another person holding Warwicks there, which is a little scary for us. But what does Warwick do if you read his ability? He bites, which does some damage, heals him a little bit, and then he gives himself a permanent attack speed buff for the rest of combat. That's his ability. Now, normally Warwick type units, you would usually build Gwinsu's on this guy. Like, I think a lot of people see Warwick and they're like, oh, he's a Gwinsu's unit. He attacks fast, throw Gwinsu's on him, throw Titans on him, he'll scale up and auto attack a bunch. No, he's really this kind of weird, like AD frontline caster where his ability really, really matters. But then every single time he casts, he just, boom, gets that flat amount of attack speed that is going to continue to ramp up over the course of the fight. And so if you build Shojin on him, not only are you obviously getting to first cast faster, but what scales up really well with attack speed? It's Shojin. Shojin gives you mana on every single auto. And so that's what we're going to be going for this game, is going to be Shojin, Titans, Warwick. From there, you can really kind of build whatever. I think a damage item makes a lot of sense in this position, because like he's honestly going to be tanky enough, especially with the board that we end up playing him on, as you will see later. But Kraken looks really, really good in the stats. I think GS, DB, both completely acceptable. You can go a defensive item, something like an Edge of Night, if you're like really afraid that the Warwick's going to die. But like I said, said, he's actually going to get quite tanky just by definition of the board that we end up playing for him. But hey, we get the Titans, we get the Shojin, and this is how Gobo has played a lot of games this entire Project PB cycle, is just very happy to loss streak in spots like this and just take this straight into a comp that he knows very, very well, and knows that if I get BIS items, if I get these items onto Warwick, I mean, this guy is just going to be completely unkillable, completely take over the game. He's also a disgustingly good artifact user. We saw the other player there with the rapid fire thinking of playing Warwick, though they're actually probably going to get scared off by us, especially because we have trade sector in this spot, so we can roll a lot faster than them. And so we're going to continue to scout around, but we're going to do our best to bully that player off of Warwick here by just saying, hey, I got 2 Warwicks, I got trade sector. Like, it's your job to pivot in this spot here, especially because like we kind of have to play Warwick with our items, but they with RFC can play a lot of other stuff. You can play Master Yi, you can play Rengar, you can play a lot. But yeah, I mean, double Warwick here. We can start talking about the board that we're gonna get into, and honestly, Gobo has a team planner out, so I am down to just yap about the board for a sec here when he does pull up the team planner, because it is very cookie cutter. You will very often play the exact same board when you play this Warwick guy, as happens with a lot of reroll comps in general here. So I'm just trying to get ready to pause when this thing pops up, because this is the idea here, is that it's very easy to fit in Rift Beast on top of this board, and to fit 4 Blackthorn onto this board. 4 Blackthorn has been buffed quite hard, so you feel pretty good about playing towards it. And the nice thing is you can sack this nice little Krug guy here, sack Krug, and bada bing, bada boom. You get 2 extra little Kruglets onto your board. I've even seen him put the selector onto the Krug. It doesn't actually work in that way, but we'll talk about this later. But oftentimes you can just select the Murkwolf here with Rift Beast, have a really nice dual carry with the Warwick, and get to 4 Ravager. Usually you don't have to play like Crab here. You can just play any last Ravager unit, usually like a Diana on this slot. And then Malphite becomes a fantastic tank with all the extra HP. And the idea is, if you're sacking this Krug, I mean, not only are you getting that extra just kind of like value in that the Krug splits into the little Krug, so you're not like feeling that bad about the fact that you're sacking a unit, but you get a lot of HP. Krug 2 and even potentially Krug 3 gives an insane amount of tank stats to your entire, all of your Blackthorn units and just your board in general, so you feel really good about it. Now, Gobo is going to go for the very early level here, the 3-1 level in the spot, because he's 2 XP richer because of his earlier spot, because he took that charm earlier. And we still at this point are thinking of the idea that we're contested. And so we are going to try to roll ahead of the other player, try to hit Warwick 2. Fortunately, we do not hit it, but we do at least get the 3rd item slammed here in the Edge of Night. Now, I think in Gobo's dreams, this item is not going to stay on the Warwick forever. You do really like getting to that last damage item, but we will see here. Magic Roll looked good, but then Big Grab Bag is just so juicy in this spot, so we are going to pick this up. Do get Rod here, which I believe is a bug. I've never gotten triple item of like 1 component out of this augment before, and then he rolls into Archangels, which is hilarious, but then he finally rolls into BT, so hey, at least we hit something kind of acceptable, but it's a little bit tragic there for Gobo. Yeah, honestly, I think he just has the Scuttle Crab in here. Yeah, this is very smart from Gobo. He's saying, like, my level 6 board is very likely to be this, but like, I'm going to cut the Scuttle Crab later, but I do want the ability to just have this guy in planner just so that I can like have something to hit on this board. So smart stuff from Gobo, especially because he already has the Vi here. He can play Juggernaut on this board. So just good team plannering and just, not playing super cookie cutter saying, okay, I'm going to play this exact board. I'm going to play the board that is strongest for now and then transition that into a stronger board. At later levels, the later levels is still pretty far away because we're still only 4 Warwicks. We can see, I want him to go back to that player because I believe the player that we thought was going to play Warwick does end up getting scared off and does end up playing towards Yi, which is a great service to us, means that we're going to get our uncontested Warwick here. And I will say, this line has become very contested, so you need to be careful. I've already started to see people play this on ladder, and hey, me making a video on it is probably not going to help the matter at all. So just be careful. I mean, if you get the spot to play this, it's very, very good. If somebody else gets the spot to play it, they are probably going to take it. We get Malphite off the carousel, which is amazing here. It means that we already have, the hardest Blackthorn unit to find here. It's kind of awkward to find 4 costs, especially when you're rolling so much on level 6. And so we can feel really, really good about picking this up here. And then once again, we can just take him. He's a fantastic tank here. And yeah, we are immediately even just going to pivot the second we find that Azir, just going to pivot into the 4 Blackthorn, just because it's so much extra tank stats onto this board. This is one of the other things that they buffed about Blackthorn. It's just the amount of tank stats sacking a tank gives, and it makes this board just insanely tanky. I mean, just look at this Warwick go. Remember, this Warwick guy is a carry, but I mean, he's just tanking everything. Every bite heals him up, gets a bunch of attack speed. The Shoujo makes him cast more, and he's just unbelievable. This unit is just straight up unbelievable. So yeah, we are going to continue to roll down. One of the other things that I didn't talk about that we did do earlier this game is we used a lot of the early rolls from Trade Sector just to fish for charms on stage 2. This is something we saw YBY1 do. In general, this is just what good players are doing when they have augments that offer them free rerolls, especially early in the game, is they're just fishing for charms every round they can, because they know picking up that extra Wisp is just going to be an insane amount of econ, like it is here, like it has been for the past few rounds. So definitely something to consider if you have one of these free roll augments, is being open to rolling like a good bit in these type of spots in the early game, not necessarily having to like bank up all of those free rolls. We do get QSS here, which is a great item on this board as well. We do have Evan's Shroud as a potential slam just to get that armor shred down. We do find Bramble. We actually skip over the Bramble back. I'm kind of surprised, but I think he's just thinking maybe it's too expensive in a spot like this. Oh, this is the round, by the way. Gobo popped into my chat. So while I was VOD reviewing this game, I was just watching it on stream earlier. So he takes this charm, this round, Search Party. Each of your shops is a 4 cost in it this round until you buy one. I thought it was a fun idea where, okay, theoretically the idea is we pick this up and hopefully we find an early Malphite, and that's actually why we skipped the Bramble backs, is because we're hoping to find early Malphite here. The problem is he basically is just playing down a shop slot. I'm pretty sure in hindsight that this is just incorrect. And when Gobo was in my chat, he was like, yeah, I don't know if this is right. So I think this Search Party charm just sucks. It needs to be like cheaper or like show you, I don't know how they can fix this one, but I'm pretty sure, like, I was like, oh, maybe this is like the only time you can take Search Party, because normally I think it's actually pretty bad when you're rolling for 4 cost comps, but I don't even think it was very good here. So yeah, probably not very good in general here. We have the opportunity to take plot armor here, which is just, once again, more tankiness, especially onto a setup where we already have so much so much extra tank stats. And he does have to take the Salvager here, which is, I mean, more adventurous than me. He knows that he wants to make Gargoyle Even Shroud here, and then this just leaves him with the Hodge DB as his last couple of slams, which, once again, I don't think this Hodge is meant to stay on Warwick forever, but his idea is, okay, I'll throw some healing onto him for now, and then later game, especially when we get into 3 Rift Beasts, we can throw this Hodge onto the Warwick, and he's going to be a monster with it, or onto the Murkwolf. So I like it a lot, and we are also 1-off Warwick, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, we are going to continue to roll down. Standalone actually quite good in this spot. You just have to move your other units up to the 3rd row, because obviously the Krug has to sit on the 3rd row, so kind of a funny idea. But hey, I mean, it should be really, really nice in this setup. It puts a lot of value into all of our units that we care about here. And then he re-team planners out the Scuttle just because, like, ooh, maybe we're not going to be able to find the Bramble back here, so we can just ensure that we at least have some Rift Beast to play, because we know level is coming pretty soon. Honestly, this fight is way closer than it should be, considering we're fighting Yunara 3, by the way. I mean, this Warwick, it's a Warwick 2, and we're like taking good losses here. And yes, we have the Murkwolf 3, but like the Warwick is the star of the show here. This guy is just so disgusting when you get this build onto him. So yeah, just build it when you can. Wants to take the sword here just to finish off something like a Gunblade here. Ends up having to take Cloak here, which is like kind of weird. But we do finally find the Warwick 3 this round. Yippee, we get there. We do, I guess, have a Rift Beast in shop if we really want to play it, but I think we should wait 1 round, so that's just on interval. It almost looked like he was going to level here just because he really wanted the power spike, but yeah. This is the other board, by the way. I think this is going to be tomorrow's VOD review, unless this board gets like Giga nerfed today, is this Nidalee plus Morgana board. This board I've seen just perform disgustingly well, though obviously it does not have the damage to get through this Warwick, but that is the other line that Gobo played a lot. He basically has played only Reroll and Nidalee as his lines that he has played towards. So it's interesting the stuff that he plays. But I mean, it makes sense. I mean, the Nidalee line is so good, and then all this reroll stuff is so good. Okay, so we do end up sacking the Krug here. Now, the important thing to note about this is, I believe this is just because of the way that Blackthorn works. Blackthorn sacks the unit technically before combat starts, which means you actually don't get the Rift Beast effect for sacking the first big Krug. If you look at all your units, they do not receive shields for the big Krug getting sacked here. I believe the reason he's doing this anyway is you still get the 2 little Krug effects when they get sacked. So it's like not the worst, but I do think once we get to more items on the wolf, that is the main idea. And I guess I should say like the Murkwolf, because we have 2 wolves on our board. He is going to finish out Kraken like we talked about. This is just such a beautiful last item. And then now he can move the selector over to the Murkwolf, build Morello here so that we have some MR shred, and we've really got most of our bases covered. Obviously, we'd like to get a last item onto Murkwolf here, but for now, the Azir can hold on to this Morello, and hopefully on Carousel, we can get an item for the Murkwolf. But yeah, I mean, this is the board. It took us a while to get here, and we're still Malphite 1, by the way, but look how tanky this Malphite 1 is. He's just sitting here with this 4 Blackthorn tankiness, and he's just disgustingly tanky, and then the Warwick on top of it is super, super strong. And the Murkwolf is honestly just a nice kind of scammer type unit. No flame to him, but he does, I feel like, just oftentimes like scam random fights by jumping straight to backline and killing units. I believe the Murkwolf's targeting is bugged a little bit, where he will just like jump further than he should. But hey, I mean, that's good for us. Sadly, we do get kind of wrapped on by this Master Yi, and this is the guy who did have the RFC earlier, remember? They ended up pivoting into Yi, which is just, obviously, we've talked about RFC range extenders on Yi before. He's very, very good with these, so makes a lot of sense. But hey, I mean, shout out to them for not contesting us in this spot here. But yeah, we're getting to Malphite pair. This is the way you really cap this board, is reach the Malphite 2, reach the 4 Ravager later. I mean, there's a lot of ways to finish capping out this board, kind of similar to the Unara board, where like it is a 2-cost reroll board through and through, but there's still a lot of ways left to cap out by like pushing level 7, level 8 on this board. Rotate into this Zyra board here, and I think the Warwick, yeah, we just didn't have quite enough frontline. That's the main thing we're missing here, is just the Malphite 2. That's why we're losing all these fights, is just no Malphite 2 means you do not have enough frontline to beat these like actually strong capped out boards. Really like to get last item on the wolf here, the Murkwolf. Ends up taking adaptive here. I forget what Gobo does with this here, because I would have thought that we would just go for like blue buff, get the Murkwolf casting or something. But I guess he just likes adaptive better as just like a mana item. Would rather just have like the extra mana gen than like the blue buff stats. So okay, I mean, it's either way, we're getting a mana item onto him. Rotate into the Unara board. A little scary because we are going to get our front line stunned by that tree, which sucks. And once again, I was going to say tree, but Malphite is not a tree at all. He's a big mountain. Is not tanky enough. But hey, we get the top 4 locked in, which honestly, for the fact that we took so long to find the Warwick is pretty good. And now we can level here, roll for a better charm here, get the Fighter's Execute charm, and we do find Malphite 2 here. So we actually, we hit the perfect shop here where we can actually sell the Azir downgraded for Vigar and get this guy upgraded. So we do finally get to what is mostly the cap 4 board, but the problem is we rotate into this guy here with Master Yi in front of all of our carries. The upside is the Wolf does a lot of damage to the board, and the Yi actually is taking forever to get to the Warwick, so the Warwick can chew through all of these guys. Infinite attack speed at this point, 18,000 damage from the Warwick, and hey, top 3 locked in. So it was very, very, very scary, but we did make it there. So I mean, just great stuff from Gobo this game, and I'm really great last second, just like quick thinking in that spot there. Interesting. Who did he just throw into planar there? Because we actually did skip over a Diana there. I mean, we are just playing a random Vi on this board right now, right? She is just a Vi, and yeah, we end up. Oh, am I crazy here? Let me look at this. Yeah, so he skips that Diana, and he skips another Diana that he could play for 4 Ravager here. Yeah, I think just getting a little bit dizzy in this spot here, unless there's something I'm missing about it, some reason why we can't play Diana, but don't think so. I think he just got a little bit dizzy here, which I mean, just I always not out of spite at all, but just out of like respect. It's I love to see when like a really good player like this, you know, still gets a little bit dizzy on PvE because hey, it just shows that everybody has so much room to improve. But hey, still, I mean, a beautiful game from Gobo showcasing this comp. I mean, it's such a disgusting comp, honestly, and we'll see if it gets nerfed. I definitely wouldn't be shocked if this comp gets nerfed today because I know they're doing a big patch, but I mean, I still think it'll be very strong, and this will always be BIS Warwick unless they change something else about him. So even if they like nerf it or something, this will still be how you play to it. So so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch and Metafy, all my links down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching as always.